You've been consistent with your squats, your glute bridges, your daily walks. Maybe you've even been squeezing your glutes at every red light because that's what the experts recommend. And yet, your glutes still feel flat. Your lower back continues to ache. Your knees? They're beginning to protest as well. After all that dedication, it feels like nothing is improving. Let's make something absolutely clear. This is not happening because you're lazy. It's not because you've reached a certain age, and it's certainly not because you're incapable. There is a real reason your glutes haven't responded the way you expected, and that reason is not your fault. For years, you've been told the answer is simple: more repetitions, more squats, more movement. But if no one ever explained how your body changes after 50, then all of that hard work may be resting on a faulty base. If your pelvis isn't properly aligned, your glutes physically cannot activate the way they're designed to. They simply won't fire efficiently. That's why this approach is different. We're not going to push harder, we're going to think smarter. We'll begin with a science-supported 3-step method created specifically for the mature body. This system doesn't just demand more effort, it restores control, stability, and strength in a way that's safe and effective. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover why your glutes may not be responding even when you're doing everything right, what most traditional glute workouts overlook for people over 50, and 3 straightforward movements that are actually more intelligent than squats and finally produce meaningful results. True strength doesn't begin with effort, it begins with alignment. Before we go further, we'd love to know who's here. Every person has a story that matters. Share your first name, your age, and where you're watching from. Your presence could motivate someone else to start moving again. Let's create a community that grows stronger together, one step, one repetition, and one connection at a time. Now, let's address the root cause, the genuine reason your glutes aren't responding. What you need isn't more effort, you need a new starting line. We have to go deeper than simply telling you to do more squats, because here's what almost no one explains. Your body operates through patterns. Some patterns help you, others quietly hold you back. And after 50, many people become trapped in patterns that subtly undermine their progress. One of the biggest culprits is pelvic misalignment. So what exactly is pelvic misalignment, and why does it matter so much? Your pelvis serves as the foundation for nearly every movement you make. When it's centered and stable, your glutes activate naturally to support walking, maintaining balance, lifting objects, and standing tall. But if your pelvis is tilted forward or backward, rotated so one side sits ahead of the other, or destabilized by years of muscular imbalance, your glutes begin to shut down. Literally. Instead of building strength, you end up reinforcing dysfunction. Why is this so widespread? According to a 2022 review published in the European Journal of Clinical Physiology, more than 65% of adults over 50 show signs of pelvic misalignment. This is especially common among those with a history of desk jobs, poor posture habits, or limited side-to-side movement. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, a process known as sarcopenia. Neuromuscular coordination declines, the mind-muscle connection weakens, hip mobility decreases. Add decades of sitting, crossing your legs, carrying bags on the same shoulder, and walking almost exclusively forward rather than laterally, and your body adapts. It begins shutting down muscles it no longer uses effectively. The glute medius and minimus, deep hip stabilizers, are often the first to go offline. So, even when you try to activate your glutes, the signal simply isn't reaching them. How does this show up in your body? Your knees collapse inward during squats. Your lower back takes over during glute bridges. One leg feels noticeably weaker than the other. Those hip dips you see in the mirror aren't necessarily fat. They're frequently signs of weakened or collapsed muscle structure. And perhaps most damaging of all, you blame yourself. You think, maybe I'm just getting older, or maybe I'm not working hard enough. But the truth is, you're trying to build strength on top of an unstable, misaligned base. It's like pouring water into a cracked vase. No matter how much you add, it won't hold. Next, we move into 3 precise, age-smart movements. These don't just work your glutes, they retrain your body to move, stabilize, and generate power again. We begin by resetting the map so your muscles know where to go. Step 1. Reset. Reawaken the connection. Before strength comes reconnection. Before squats, before resistance, you must restore communication. Your glutes aren't weak, they're disconnected. Imagine your glutes as gifted musicians. They know how to play. But if the conductor, your brain, has lost the rhythm, the music never begins. What you need isn't a louder performance. You need to restore the signal. That's the purpose of this movement. It's not just a stretch. It's not merely a warm-up. It's a neuromuscular reset. The movement is called the rock back with crossover position. It appears simple, but it's clinically shown to re-engage the specific muscles many adults over 50 have lost control over. Here's how it works. The position gently creates internal rotation at the pelvis. This unlocks a movement pattern most bodies have forgotten, especially after years of sitting or repetitive forward motion. It specifically activates the glute medius, the deep hip stabilizer that often goes dormant. To perform it, begin in a tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees beneath hips. Cross one ankle over the opposite calf without forcing the position. Inhale through your nose. As you slowly exhale, rock your hips back toward your heels. Keep your spine neutral. No arching, no rounding. Return to the starting position. Complete 30 controlled repetitions. Perform 2 to 3 sets per side, once or twice daily. Move slowly. This exercise is about reconnection, not speed. Keep your chest lifted. Breathe deeply. This resets your nervous system as much as your muscles. Avoid rushing. Don't let your knee collapse inward. Never hold your breath. You may not feel a burn, but something more important is happening internally. Your brain is rediscovering your glutes. Once that signal is restored, we move to the next phase, stability. Step 2. Stabilize. Secure your hip control. You've re-established communication. Now you must protect it. Think of pitching a tent. You've raised the frame, reset the pelvis, but without securing the ropes, even a small gust can topple it. This next movement builds stability, the quality that keeps you upright, balanced, and injury-resistant. The movement is the side plank with leg lift. This exercise addresses many challenges people over 50 face: poor balance, hip instability, knees collapsing during movement, weak lateral strength, and fear of falling. Research published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy connects weak glute medius muscles to as much as a 60% increased fall risk after age 50. This isn't about how high your leg rises, it's about how well you control your body while it moves. Lie on your side with your elbow directly under your shoulder. Extend your legs, placing the top foot slightly forward for balance. Engage your core gently. Press your forearm and outer foot into the floor and lift your hips into a straight line. Your bottom glute is now working to hold you steady. Slowly raise your top leg 30 to 45 degrees. Pause 2 to 3 seconds. Lower with control. Perform 5 to 8 controlled repetitions per side, holding each for 5 to 10 seconds. Perform 2 to 3 rounds. Keep your chest facing forward. Don't roll backward. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. If needed, bend your knees to modify. Avoid letting your hips sag. Don't kick the leg upward. Never hold your breath. You should feel the bottom glute stabilizing and the top glute activating. This builds control, not just muscle. Once stability is secure, we move to strength. Step 3. Strengthen. Build lasting power. You've reset alignment, you've secured stability, now you build strength that supports you daily. The movement is the supported single-leg RDL, often called the king of glute exercises when performed correctly. It strengthens all 3 glute muscles, maximus, medius, and minimus. It enhances balance,
coordination, and hip control, abilities that naturally decline with age. It mirrors real life, picking objects up, stepping over obstacles, reaching while standing. A 2023 meta-analysis in the NCSA Journal of Strength and Conditioning ranked the single-leg RDL among the most effective glute activators, surpassing squats and lunges when properly executed. Stand beside a chair or wall for light support. Shift weight onto one leg, slightly bend the knee, extend the opposite leg behind you. Hinge from your hips, not your waist. Keep your spine long, lower with control, hips square. Pause briefly. Squeeze your glutes to return upright. Perform 8 to 10 repetitions per leg. Complete 2 to 3 sets. Think hinge, not bend. Hips move backward. Keep your back toe pointed.